Yo, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is your host with the most, Cruz Gaming, and welcome back to another monster review. Today we will look at the Harp Magicians, the skills, runes, builds, how each harp can be useful for you, and much more. So stay tuned. Okay, so first up we have is the fire attribute Harmonia, unwanted harmony, evens the HP of the enemy you attack and an ally with the lowest HP. This skill does not work on boss type monsters, removes 15% of the selected enemy's HP and gives that percentage to your ally monster with the lowest HP. Healing music recovers 20% HP for the entire team. The heal is equivalent to 20% of their max HP. Also, the skill grants immunity to all allies for 1 turn. First skill, Tempting Dream. Attacks and absorbs 15% of the attack bar with a 30% chance. Plus, this skill puts the enemy to sleep for 1 turn with a 10% chance. So this is a bit of a Chiwu type first skill. The damage increases according to your attack speed. So the higher the attack, the more the damage. Okay, for the Rune build, you want to go with a Violent Will. That's if you're taking into Arena or whatever, or Guild War. Or you can go with a Violent Nemesis, Resistant subsets with Speed, right? Because this is a spot type monster. Or you can go with a Swift Nemesis, or go with a Swift Energy type. She needs a bit of HP to be a little bit stable on the battlefield. Make sure that your key build is in HP speed, or swap out 1 HP for a defense slot. Defense rune. Note that this monster has low base speed of 98. It needs a good amount of speed to be to keep up with the other enemies that you are going to be facing. Next we have is the water attribute Sonnet. Third skill, Distorted Healing Music. Attacks all enemies, puts them to sleep for 1 turn, creates a shield that is equal to 30% of the damage you did to the enemies on all of your monsters for 2 turns. So 2-turn shield right there is pretty good already. The damage of this skill increases according to your max HP. So you can see a bit of Rakan's skills has been added to this type of monster. Next we have is Nightmare Melody. Puts enemies to sleep for 1 turn, adds a continuous damage effect for 2 turns with a 50% chance. Just note that this monster is a good crowd control monster because you're getting those dots and you're putting sleep effects on the monster. So, you know, first, second and third skill are pretty great. Even the first skill is also great. Because the first skill, Tempting Dream, attacks the enemy, absorbs 50% of the attack bar with a 30% chance, plus puts the enemies to sleep for 1 turn with a 10% chance. The damage of the skill increases according to your attack speed. Okay, so there are 2 ways of building her. One is an HP build to do the maximum damage, and also to make it as a tank build. If you go with an HP build, make sure the HP build is HP or HP crit damage, right? If you're going with an attack HP build, say you just want an extra attack on it, right? Say you're not going with any attack buffers, then for this here you want to go with a key build for attack HP, or attack HP crit damage. Next we have is the wind attribute Triana Salvation Song, which is a passive, cancels incoming damage that will kill an ally monster and you gain a turn instantly. This skill or this passive is perfect when you need to cut in between a super fast speedy team. Healing Music recovers 20% HP for the entire team. The heal is equivalent to 20% of their max HP. Also, the skill grants immunity to all allies for 1 turn. First skill, Tempting Dream. Attacks and absorbs 15% of the attack bar with a 30% chance. Plus, this skill puts the enemy to sleep for 1 turn with a 10% chance. So this is a bit of a Chi-Wu type first skill. The damage increases according to your attack speed. So the higher the attack, the more the damage. Okay, so the rune ball for her will be a swift or a whirl or HP or violent. If you go with the swift, you can go with the whirl, or if you go with a violent, you can go with HP, whirl, or nemesis. Key build, make sure it's HP or defense and speed. Despair runes might be fun to use on her. Next we have is the light attribute Celia. Removes a beneficial effect on the enemy every turn. If she is successful, she will put a sleep for 1 turn on the enemy. Next is Nightmare Melody. Puts all enemies to sleep for 1 turn and inflicts continuous damage for 2 turns with a 50% chance on each monster. So as soon as you put up the sleep and the enemy wakes up, they're going to be affected straight away with the continuous damage. First skill, Tempting Dream. Attacks and absorbs 15% of the attack bar with a 30% chance. Plus, this skill puts the enemy to sleep for 1 turn with a 10% chance. Okay, so the rune ball for the light attribute will be first, Violent Revenge. You wanted to revenge because the passive removes a buff. So if you're going with against a team that has a lot of support type monsters, then revenge runes are going to be the best for you. Violent and revenge is going to be the most obvious best pick you'll ever find on this monster. Or you can go with a 2 set revenge runes and a 1 set nemesis or energy. Make sure your key build is HP, speed, defense, or swap out the defense for HP, vice versa. Note that the space speed for this monster is pretty good. It's at 1. Next we have is the dark attribute Vivachel, Song of Switch to Destiny. Switches the current attack bar and HP with the enemy, excluding boss or any other ally. This effect can't be resisted and ignores the immunity. So this is a pretty good skill which ignores immunity, which can be very useful against the Chloe team. Switches the current attack bar. So I think that as soon as you move, your attack bar gets set to 0. When it's set to 0, it switches to the enemy's attack bar. How full their attack bar is, it switches it to yours. So you're getting their attack bar and their HP as well. So it's a pretty useful and tactical monster to bring into war. Next we have is Healing Music. Recovers the HP of all allies by 20% each and grants immunity for 1 turn. So it's pretty good against monsters that are gonna stun you. You need those monsters to be fast. You need it to go first so you can use that immunity, and then you can go with your third skill. Basically the first skill, all it does, it absorbs 15% attack power of the enemy with a 30% chance, puts the enemy to sleep for 1 turn with a 10% chance, and the damage increases according to your attack speed. Okay, so the best Rune build will be a Swift Will, Violent Revenge, or Violent HP, or Swift HP. Key build would be HP speed. Best combo will be a Swift Revenge or a Violent Will combo. Thanks for watching the video. If you made it until this point, like, share and subscribe, and until next time, peace out.